Let's talk about outdoor living spaces. Heyo homeowners, DIY, and professional landscapers. My name is Hudson. Today we're going to be talking about living spaces and what you should consider when you're designing them. Before we get started, if you need help with your landscape, whether designing, installing, maintaining, or just getting motivated, then check out the link below. It's my free gift to you. It is a step-by-step guide to all of those things and to your landscape. So download it, print it off, and use it to bring your landscape from where it is now to where you would like it to be. All right, let's talk about outdoor living spaces. What should you be considering when looking at the space that you want to live in outdoors? The first thing you should consider is the site that you're working with. Do you have enough space or square footage for the lifestyle that you would like to live in that space? Remember that you can design better if you have constraints and that form must follow function. Here are 3 ways that you can tell whether this living space that you are designing is going to work well for you and the property that you are working with. Consider the use. Who's going to be using it and how they are going to be using it. If this is you, think of all the relaxation, parties, or things that you would like to do in your outdoor living space. Consider traffic. Traffic is just how people are going to use that space and how they're going to travel from one place to another. And then consider amenities. Now, amenities are like grills or hot tubs or pools or things like that. And all of these play together and influence one another. But I would consider them in that order: use, traffic, and amenities. Let's talk about use. How are spaces going to work well together? Consider your audience and who's going to be using them. Let's talk about children. Children need a space for play, a space where they can be loud and rambunctious and noisy without disturbing the adults, but a place that is also not too far away from parents and guardians should something go wrong, as it inevitably does. Now let's talk about adults. If you're going to be doing outdoor dinner parties or fireplaces, like in the fireplace area that I am standing in right now, then you will want to consider having different spaces where different groups can break off from. Generally, you are going to want one gathering area, and then you are going to want 2 separate areas where at least 2 or more groups can break off and have separate conversations, but still be close to each other enough to say, hey honey, where was that restaurant we ate at? Or what was that Turkish delight recipe? You want spaces where both parties can sit approximate to each other, but still be separate and have their own private conversations while still interacting with one another. Let's talk about traffic, or the ways that people use an outdoor living space and travel along it. Generally, you want to use the shortest path possible. The straighter the path, the faster the speed of the traffic, and the more winding the path goes, the slower the traffic will go. You want to get someone to the place they want to be in the shortest possible amount of time, while giving enough form to the function to make them slow down and enjoy the beauty. But ultimately, if you have a path that goes from the house to the garage, you're going to want that to be very straight, while if you have a path that goes to a back patio, you'll want that to curve and wind just a little bit. Making people go out of their way to reach a destination is going to make them frustrated. Speaking of destinations, let's talk about amenities. Amenities include fire pits, fireplaces, pools, hot tubs, grills, dinner tables, swing sets, and the like. The general principle for amenities is that proximity really matters. The closer the amenity is to the back door, the more it will get used. Considering this, think about your grill. How close is it to your back door, and how often do you use it? A good indicator of how frequently you will use the amenity that you are considering is how many steps away it is from the main traffic area or the main area where you will be accessing your house or your car. In general, if you are creating a living space, you will want it to be no smaller than 14 feet by 19 feet. This allows for tables and chairs to be comfortably seated while still providing space on the edges for traffic and flower pots if you want to make that space look really nice. Smaller than that and you start to run into trouble, where someone at the table will have to scooch in if someone else is passing by around them. So in summary, when considering your outdoor living spaces, consider how it's going to be used and who it is going to be used by. Consider the traffic and flow that's going to be used around it, and think about the amenities that are close by or are going to draw traffic and use to them. If you have any questions about your yard, landscape, or garden, then I have a gift for you. In the link below this video or in the QR code in the corner, you can scan that to download my free step-by-step guide to your landscape. It will walk you through everything from design to installation, inspiration, and maintenance. Thanks for joining me today. That's all for now.